Hello and welcome to this episode of Up Your Vibe. And today I have with me one of my most favourite people in the world. And why do I say that? Because when I met this person back in Ireland when we did a 9-day course together, I don't know about you, but now and again you meet people in your life, and from the second you meet them, you know that there's something special about that person. And it's not happened to me very often. I think there's two people in my life that have inspired me and stayed with me from that time that I met them. And muneer-al-busaidi is one of those people. And I'd like you to welcome him to the show because he is going to make this show this week so much fun. Hello, Muneer.
Hello, hey, how you doing?
I'm
Wow,
doing
that can I just say that introduction, like if I wasn't so brown, I'd be red now. I'm blushing inside. You
It's
can't
all
tell, but
right.
I'm blushing.
You can pay me later, Muneer. No,
How
but
are you
seriously.
doing?
I'm doing really, really well. And as you know, when you first met me back, when was it? About 2.5, 3 years ago?
Yeah, it's about 3 years ago
Yes,
now
about
in
3 years
Dublin.
ago, isn't it? And as you see now, I'm a very different person from that time. And with lots of studying and self-work, it changed my whole perception of life. And
Wow.
you were part of that as well because you inspired me with your kindness.
Thank
And I haven't come across that very often, that genuine kindness and authenticity in people and how powerful that can be. And of course, since I met you, you have gone from strength to strength with an international bestseller.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so there's a couple of points I want to address there. First, yes, thank you. Yes, I got a best-selling book on power persuade called Power Persuasion,
Yeah.
and yeah, basically confessions of a hypnotist, marketer, and next door-to-door salesman. But I think I'd just like to touch on what you were saying in terms of the kindness and how I stayed in your life. To be honest with you, for me our interaction like was just a little being nice to someone, and what you've told me since then has about the things that you were going through at the time is such a huge lesson, just not just for me but for hopefully for other people, about how you never take your interactions for granted or just being nice to someone for granted, because
Mm.
it can make a massive difference in someone's life. So thank you for acknowledging that, and even teaching me that lesson just by sharing that information. So thanks for that. And I can totally relate to transformation. That's what I'm about. I've transformed my life a number of times, and that's one of the things I'm very passionate about.
Yes.
Completely.
Yes,
Yeah.
and today's show is very different from the last show that we did together. For number one, you're going to go on YouTube and people can see you. Last show we didn't do that, did we? So that's really great that you've agreed to let me record it so we can put it on YouTube. And we're
Cool.
going to be talking about one of the new courses that you are producing, which is called Killer Confidence. But first of all, before we get onto that, I would really like you to share your experiences as a child, because to me, what happens to people as a child, they decide to make two choices in life. Are they
Mm.
going to allow that childhood to hold them back? Or are they going to embrace that childhood and all of those experiences to make them the special and unique people like you have become and I have become? So
Mm.
just tell the audience, please, a little about where you came from, what happened to you in school and the wisdom of your father.
Cool. Yeah, I'd be happy to. So I think it definitely all ties into confidence, and I'll relate this back in a second, because I think everyone thinks that people are born confident. You know, when you see someone, you just sort of say, hey, I wish I was like that, or I wish I was born confident. The reality is I was not born confident. And, you know, when I was young, I was this geeky, awkward, scrawny kid. And I had really big, thick glasses growing up. And not to say that glasses make you awkward, but it made me insecure. I still wear glasses right now, so don't worry. But like at the time, because I had these glasses, they were -6. I was very insecure. And just to give your audience an idea of how bad my eyesight was, or how bad -6 is, if a normal guy put on my glasses, he'd see back in time, right? That's how bad my eyesight was. But so growing up, I was awkward. I was bullied a lot. I was made fun of by the girls, bullied by the guys. The cat used to sit on me. You know, all manner of things used to happen. And at one time, you know, the bullying got really bad, and I went home and I was basically near tears. You know, and my father came home that day, and he could sense something was up that day in particular. And he came to me and he said, Muneer, what's up? Like, you seem down. And I just said, yeah, nothing, you know. And he said, look, I can see something's wrong. What's up? What's going on? And I said, look, I had a bad day. I had a few of them recently. And my dad asked me a very, very profound question. And he just sort of said, okay, so what day do you want to have? And initially I said, you know, well, I don't want to be bullied. I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to this. And he told me, look, I didn't ask you what you don't want. He said, what do you want? And I thought about it, and, you know, I didn't know at the time is the honest answer. I didn't know at the time in my conversation. But the crazy thing about questions is sometimes someone asks you a question, and if it's powerful enough, it can sit with you for a period of time. And so I started thinking about it, and I said, what do I want? Now, here's the thing. When I was young, you know, back in the day, this is pre-YouTube, pre-satellite TV, you know, like all these things. I had 2 channels. I know I look like super young and extremely handsome, but I did grow up at a time where, especially in Oman, which is where I'm from, like we literally had 2 TV channels and only a VHS recorder. So, you know, we had. So you'd watch stuff over and over and over again, especially as a kid. Like today, you just sort of watch something, that's it. I've never seen it again. But back in those days, we were short on content. So and this is wrong, but it's the truth. It's the reality. I had got my hands on a stand-up comedy by Eddie Murphy called Delirious. And it was very famous at the time. Lots of swearing. I shouldn't have been watching it. It's supposed to be 18 plus, but you know, hey, you know, no one was paying attention. It's fine. So, and I just used to look at that and I go, you know what? That's what I want. But I started designing it. So I'm not talking about standing there in red leather saying profanity to
get that image out of my head, right?
But I was like, you know what? I want to be confident. I want to be confident, and I want to be able to just speak to people confidently, walk around, make people laugh. And that was the starting point, because I honestly believe that, you know, the ultimate starting point of transformation is deciding what you really want and getting a clear vision of that.
But throughout all of that, your father was actually the catalyst. The
Yeah,
words that
yeah.
spoke to you was the catalyst for you to go out and become who you are today.
And yeah, no, completely. And I suppose a little bit like our interaction, you know, if I go to my dad and I sort of say, you know, hey, that day you said, what do you want? And, you know, he might not even remember the interaction as much, but isn't it crazy how sometimes with people we can have life defining moments
Exactly.
when if you just ask the right question with someone, or you treat them nicely, or whatever it is, but you can have these life defining moments for another person. So yeah, it was a very big defining moment for me. But yeah, for my dad, it was perhaps just a simple question at the time, but
Hmm.
so profound and so right
And
at the
you
time.
became all those things that you watched on Eddie Murphy. You wanted to be funny, you wanted to change people, you wanted to make people laugh, and you became that person.
And look, it all starts with, yeah, it starts with a little bit of hey, what do I want? But you know, and a desire. I mean, I was tired of standing on the sidelines wondering what someone would say to me, or being worried about how a conversation would go,
Yeah.
or dreading you know, standing up in front of people, what people would say.
And
I hate
if
all
you could look through the eyes of that child now and see yourself, the things that you're achieving now, going on big national news stations and writing books and holding your own training events in front of you've probably been in front of thousands of people now. Can that
yeah.
little boy even put those two together, do you think?
No, no. At the time, I mean, to be honest with you, uh, at the time, I had such a deep desire. I didn't even know it was possible. I just knew that I wanted it. Like I was like, I want this. That's how it all started. I want this. I didn't even know it was possible. Um, you know, knowing what I know now, and the science and the research that's available, uh, I was. It took me a very very long time in order to get to the stage,
Mm-hmm.
but it's crazy that like now that I've gotten here, I could say I could help someone in a week literally become more confident, whereas it took me years to figure out everything,
And
and a whole bunch of things. So a whole bunch of things I did for a while without even knowing what I was doing.
and
So yeah,
this has become your new normal.
yeah, exactly. And so this is the thing. It's like training a muscle. I think I look at confidence like a muscle. It's something that you need to train. See, uh, if you've never worked out and you go to the gym and try and lift a super heavy weight, you're not going to be able to. However, if you train yourself a little bit over time, a little bit by bit over time, you're able to pick up the heaviest weight, or weather the heaviest storm, or you know, like get through tough situations. But you know, you can't um, take a bike into a race for the first time that you want to ride a bike. You got to start out and build your way up to that.
But there
So
has to be a passion for you to want to do something in the first place. So, how can someone go out there and find that passion and that big why for them to do that in the first place?
well, I think the passion comes in a couple of forms, and it's getting real about the people's current situation, like whatever situation you're in right now, like and the reality is everyone has a little bit of fear, even confident people, even myself. We have a little bit of nerves every once in a while. um, the but it's getting real about what is your fear preventing you from doing? What could you achieve if you just got over that? Who could you connect with if you were more confident? What would you pursue if you overcame fear? What opportunities would you take advantage of? Who would you have in your life? What situations would be different? How could you stop people taking advantage of you, or pursue different things, or give someone an opinion that they really need? I mean, our lives really can, I mean, if you were able to increase your confidence by just 5%, what would change?
Mm.
And I think for a lot of people, a lot of things would change. See, I've worked in a tech field, for a fair bit of time in sort of technology and digital marketing and things like that. And I work with people that are way smarter than I am. And it's not hard to admit that. Like a lot of people are way smarter than I am. But the crazy thing is, I was more successful. And it's not because I'm smarter, it's because I was more confident.
Mm-hmm.
And it upsets me because I want people to do well. I want them to do better than I do. And the reality is, people don't do as well as they could just because they aren't comfortable speaking with senior people, or they aren't comfortable speaking in front of an audience, or they aren't comfortable. And I get it. It's totally cool. But I get it because I've been there.
So
And
what can they do? Because we've put a lot of questions forward right now, but we haven't offered a solution. If you could give somebody one big top tip how they can become more confident, what would that be?
So I suppose the first part is getting clear on what confidence means to them, right? See, my vision of confidence when I was younger is different to what someone else wants confidence for. See, when I was younger, I had that vision of me standing in front of an audience, entertaining, making people laugh. That was my vision of confidence, and I had a very clear vision. For someone else, it might be what confidence may be the courage to tackle on or a new thing, or to start a business or something like that. It could be so for different people it's different things. For someone, confidence may be standing up to someone that a situation or a relationship that they're in that may not be right for them. So confidence can, yeah.
First of all, they've got to find out what their confidence is, what it is then, really. It could be a feeling, or it could be a vision.
Yeah, completely. So what confidence do you want? What is that vision of confidence that you do want? The second thing I think that's very important is to realize that, because people say, and I've probably said it a lot in this interview, people want to have confidence, but the reality is, confidence is not something anybody has. It's not something that you can give to someone, or something that someone keeps, etc. Confidence is a process. It's something that you do. Confidence is something that we do, not something that we have. Which is why nobody is always confident. And the reality is, if it's something that you do, then it's something that can be learned. It's a process.
Yes.
And it's also important to realize that people already do confidence. It's just they may not do it in some of the desired areas that they want it in. And let me give you an example. If I were to say to you, hey, we're going to have a competition, and you're going to get $1,000 if you can tie your shoelaces, right? A lot of people will be like, oh my God, I can do that. Like, I know this answer, kind of thing. Or they feel confident when they're cooking. Like, do you know how to cook? Yes, I know how to cook. I'm confident about that,
Yes.
And what's ironic is, people are very confident that they are not confident. They are very adamant, they're very confident that they have no confidence. So confidence is something we do already.
Yeah.
And if it's something that we do, it's about learning how to take this thing that we do in one area of our lives and apply it to somewhere else.
And they've also got to have the drive, haven't they, to do something. Without the
Completely.
drive, they're not going to be confident, or they're not going to be passionate. It's what
Yeah.
drives the person into.
Yeah.
So, what drives me to go to the gym? Absolutely nothing, because I don't like it. But what drives
Yeah.
me to do home exercise? Yeah, I like to look healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, completely. And when we talk about that, it comes down to that desire we were talking about earlier, and asking those questions and getting real about the areas in your life where you are not applying confidence, where you would like to be more confident. That's what creates that drive. That's what creates that desire. By really taking a moment and looking at it and being honest with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When we went on that course together and we were asked to work with different people, I thought, to me, I wasn't confident at all, and it was really frightening for me. So it's frightening if you're not confident to step out of that comfort zone to do that, and it does mean stepping out of the comfort zone if you want to realize your confidence.
Completely. I mean, we mentioned the program that I have. In my program, I push people to step outside their comfort zone, but in a very comfortable way, if that makes sense. So
It sounds interesting.
so yeah, because you see, it's about doing things in an easy, buildable way that over time that you build that muscle. So when the secret to really becoming confident over time is to work out very slowly, to build the exercises, to do the exercise and build that weight very slowly, like every day. You just do a little bit more, 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 until you're in a situation where you can handle it.
Yeah.
Too many people think of, hey, step outside your comfort zone as like the big situation, right? Standing in front of an audience and delivering a speech. That's like the big situation. Like, you wouldn't want to do that unless you've built up to it.
Yes.
And having and understanding what are the right exercises, the techniques that you can do in order to build up to that.
So I think in terms of confidence, it can be taken two ways. If somebody's overconfident, they can be seen to be egotistical, or they can seem to be a show-off. And somebody who's truly confident, they have the ability to show great kindness to someone and still seem modest, like you are.
And I think you raise an amazing point, and it's one of the myths that I like to expel about confidence, which is the confident people are arrogant. But because some confident people are arrogant, but doesn't mean that all are, and it's definitely not they don't go hand in hand.
No.
Because when you build confidence from when you were unconfident, then typically you have empathy. What's it called? The ugly duck syndrome. Like, that's what I like to call my my situation.
Yeah.
You have empathy for other people, so you're more likely to be nice to people anyhow. So I don't think that's going to happen to anyone.
I do know that it's a fear that people have raised before, though. If I become confident, am I going to turn like some of these people that are really horrible because they've got wealth and they don't want to know you anymore? But it really isn't like that. We're not talking about that level of confidence. We're talking about the level of confidence that gets someone out of bed in the morning, and they've got their big why and their passion to go out in the world and achieve their desires.
Completely. It's all about having see like it's a little bit like that where people think that all all rich people are snobs, for example. That's not a correlation. There are some for sure, but then again, you get some poor people that are snobs, right? You get some shy people that aren't very nice, right? Like when you speak to them, and they are very judgmental. And I know a lot of shy people that are very, very judgmental. So it's not, these are not correlations, but they are two independent things that sometimes go together and sometimes they don't. It's a mix and match type of thing.
We're
So
all
yeah,
individuals, and if we're going to live
exactly.
under the illusion that because we're going to become confident that people are going to like us more, that's actually not the reason why you become confident. You become confident so you can attain what you want in life, and what the others
Yeah,
do is none
completely.
of your business whatsoever.
Yeah, completely.
So,
Uh, yeah, go ahead.
Um, I just wanted to ask you about mastering this change. I know you've mentioned your program, the Killer Confidence, and that sounds like a really good tool that people can use to master change. Um,
Yeah.
if someone was to sign up for your course, and I know you've got a special offer at the end of
Mm.
the video or the radio program to offer people, if someone was going to take your Killer Confidence course, what could they expect, and how would that master change within them?
So ultimately, what I show people is are scientifically proven, tested and proven techniques that have been proven to increase levels of testosterone, reduce levels of cortisol, so the stress hormones, to reduce those, to increase testosterone levels, but also the physiology of confidence, so that people can portray it and fake it till you make it to a certain degree.
Mm.
So some of the things I share are understanding the process of confidence, the secrets of confident physiology. Another important part is how to silence the inner voice, that inner critic voice, and how to master your internal voice, and how to program your mind for success. What a lot of people don't realize is that they are hypnotizing themselves with the negative talk that they could be telling themselves. That voice is constantly hypnotizing them into to feeling a certain way, and basically how to replace that voice with a more powerful, empowering voice that is programming you for success in the long run.
Yes.
um,
It's
uh,
really, really important to understand that concept, because whatever we
Completely.
think and feel, that is the gateway to the unconscious mind that then
Completely.
objectifies that. So you are actually bringing into reality what you're thinking and feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And I also share like a 10-minute daily routine that anybody can do in order to basically program your mind over time. But it's literally 10 minutes a day. It will get you more confident on the day itself. However, because you do it over time, you're shifting your baseline, just like how at one point my baseline was a very shy, awkward person. Because I had done so much over time, now my baseline is shifted and my natural state is being more confident.
Yeah.
So I share like a daily routine, and then I also have a hypnotic recording. Like basically, I use the latest brainwave science, so some binaural beats along with stereo technology, so there's a right, left, different suggestions from all over the place, so to program your subconscious on a daily basis to become more confident. So what's very unique about this is, a lot of people will either go to sort of a hypnotherapist, or they'll do some conscious work. What we want to do is not only tackle your conscious mind, but also help you direct your autopilot. because the autopilot, you could be saying but consciously, oh, I want to be like confident, I want to be confident, but your unconscious is not, right? So let's like we take an approach to address both your conscious mind and your unconscious mind, so that you get results faster than ever before, faster than any other program. And you don't have to go to and pay like a hypnotherapist a lot of money for a private session kind of thing.
And is this an online course, Muneer?
Yes, it's an online course. Yeah.
And
it's
is there any time limit for the amount of time you take to complete the course?
So people can finish it in about, I'd say, a couple of days. It's fairly straightforward. The exercises are what make this very important. And so I'd encourage anybody coming like that wants to try it, because I want to give people results. And in order for you to get the results, you've got to do the exercise. You got to do some of the techniques. And some of the techniques will be different to what people have been used to. But the reality is, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you always got. And so the techniques that I'm sharing are proven. And I also share some of the studies in the course that show like they've been proven to increase all the happy hormones, to reduce the stress hormones, to create assertiveness, and all the studies that have been done in order to do that. So I share multiple techniques, and see, it's not just about having one technique. One of these techniques alone could transform someone's life. However, because I'm sharing multiple techniques that you can stack upon each other in a 10-minute window per day, when you stack these techniques on top of each other, it really creates a massive shift within people. Okay. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah,
that is really good. I mean, stacking is, of course, an NLP technique. Yeah. So is the whole program based on NLP, or do you bring other things into awareness as well?
So I have elements from NLP. I have elements from, all sorts of things. I use hypnosis for the audio recording. I've used things from TED Talks I've researched a whole bunch, and I've shared a number of different techniques that are Harvard studies, a whole bunch. There's a number of things that are in there.
You have done so much over the past few years, gone to so many events, haven't you? How did you go to Tony Robbins' event, didn't you?
Yeah, so and that's another thing. I've learned from people all over the world. So some of the best, I like to learn from sources. So I've gone to Tony Robbins. I've learned from Richard Bandler, who created NLP, Igor Ledachovsky. I travel the world to meet some of the most amazing minds that have accomplished so much. And I've learned a number of things from each of them, so a lot of that is included. By the way, some of my interviews are on my YouTube channel as well.
You beat me to it. I was just going to say that if you want to go and see some of Muneer's adventures, he has got a YouTube video on that as well.
Yeah. So
and there's some fabulous videos on there too.
Thank you. Yeah. So so look, first of all, if anybody is interested in the confidence course, there's a coupon code for everyone on your show. I've knocked it 50%. It's already very affordable anyhow. Like it's under $70. It was like very affordable already. Yes. Because it's in launch phase. But you're so amazing, and I'm sure your listeners are like amazing to be listening to you. So I wanted to hook you up. So
that was so generous of you. It really is. Is there going to be a time limit on that? Because of course this will go onto YouTube. Will there be a time limit? Can we set a date when that offer will expire?
Right now, no, there's no time limit right now. Let's just say for 6 months from now, just in case. I don't want to, just in case, but let's do it 6 months from now, and yeah. So
And I just want to make quite clear to the audience to take action and invest in this program. But once you've bought the program, there's no point letting it sit there. You must do the
yeah,
exercises, because that's the
yeah.
key to everything. It is taking action.
100%. Look, I don't want anybody to waste their time if they're not going to do the exercise. Look, I'm sure you can find a bunch of stuff online that you could read and not do exercises for. But I'm very, very passionate about helping people get results. And I know for certain that this is going to give you results. However, it's only going to give you results if you commit to doing these simple exercises.
How many minutes a day do you think someone would have to spend doing the exercises?
So I've put together a 10-minute. I literally there's a download sheet after you learn about all the techniques. So I explain every single technique, why the techniques work, and how to do them, and then I just put together a 10-minute daily workout routine or a daily routine. Now, look, at the end of the day, whether you do it daily or every other day or whatever, that's down to you. But the point is, at least you're doing it, as you know, versus someone that comes in and just like watches a video and then does nothing.
Yes.
Then you won't get the results. I mean, you'll know about it, but you may not. I want you to experience the results. So,
And you are the product of your own work. Look how far you've
100%.
come. And the
100%.
same for me. I didn't sit down and do nothing. And
Yeah.
you know, like you, I've probably been down at the bottom there. And there were times in my life where I didn't think I would see another day. And I had to get up and do something. I didn't want to feel like that anymore. I didn't
Yeah.
want to feel like people were taking advantage of me. I wanted to take control of my life and my destiny. And I couldn't do that by sitting on a settee drinking a bottle of red wine.
Yeah. 100%.
That's the bottom
100%.
line, isn't it? You either want to do it or you don't. And if you don't, you stay where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
sometimes we have to wake up.
Yeah, that's 100%. And you can either wait for an event to happen that's just going to wake you up and when it's too late down the line, or that's what happens sometimes. Someone goes into something, they get thrown into something and they experience a lot of pain, and that's when they wake up. Or you can sit there and just sort of say, like, get clear on what are the opportunities that you can have and what are you missing out on, and what issues are arising because you haven't looked at
And
your
for me, it's about helping people get somewhere faster and not having to go through the traumas that we've had to go through to get to where we are. And what you are offering can help people incredibly well to do that without having to go through everything that we went to.
100%. 100%. And by the way, like I have one on confidence. I have a program on success. Both come. See, my passion as well is creating products that help you with your conscious mind, give you exercises for your conscious mind, and then help you program your answers, your results into your unconscious, your subconscious, which is essentially what you'd go to a hypnotherapist for.
Exactly.
However, you see the challenge with a generic recording on YouTube, or you download a generic hypnosis recording, is just designed for anybody. But the reality is we're all different. Your needs are very different to my needs.
Exactly.
And that's why people go to a hypnotherapist and pay a lot of money, or to go to a coach, so that they can personalize their experience. But the reality is you can personalize your experience if you do a number of exercises and you have a hypnosis recording, so that you have the ability to do it over and over again, and program it into your mind over time.
you are doing about binaural beats, which obviously works on the brain waves, and different brain waves initiate different things. So
Yeah.
binaural beats for confidence would be very different to binaural beats to send you to sleep.
Yes, completely.
So yeah, so someone wanted to say to you, okay, Muneer, I really appreciate what you've done, but I would love my own binaural beats that's specific to me. Is that
yeah.
something that you would do?
Yes, definitely. Someone can contact me, and I do personalized recordings if that is something that I do. So I do personalized recordings, which is obviously it's a more premium offer.
Yeah.
Then I also do, but I have these recordings that go with
With the program.
exercises
Yes.
with the program. So they are there to program your answers. So once you've kind of done your answers, so it's a little generic. It's not as detailed. I'm not saying sort of, Paula, you were once in Dublin and da da da. I'm just sort of
But
saying,
it's true, I love it.
perhaps, yeah. It's
Oh, God.
yeah, exactly. So, the personalized recording is definitely a more premium product, but the and 100% available for those that want it. At the same time, this one it does bridge the gap between, you see, the pros of having a generic recording, which is you can listen to it over and over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
um, you know with the pros of a hypnotherapist, where you get some customization. So it's a blend of those two, along with a number of exercises for your conscious mind as well. So yeah.
And I know that you are doing a lot of group programs at the moment, but do you also do one-on-one therapy still, or consultations?
Yes, I do. I do it over Zoom, and yeah. So I do coaching and hypnotherapy over Zoom as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
one on one.
Yeah.
I do it. A little bit less than my groups, which I enjoy quite tremendously as well.
Fantastic.
But yes, I still do.
So, all I can say about you, Muneer, well, I can say lots about you actually, but in order for me to meet you, I had to go to extraordinary lengths to do the conversational hypnosis course that we did, for me to get to that course. But something inside me drove me to get there, even though Ryanair wouldn't let me get on the aeroplane because I didn't have a passport. Then it was going over on the ferry and the Garda and all the things that happened in the rain. It was traumatic, to say the least, but I knew I had to go for some reason, and that was to meet you.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and I know that you are so what do I call it? Modest. You're so modest about your achievements, but you're actually such an amazing person that inspires so
Thank you.
many. So I am reaching out to the audience today to say, take action, take advantage of this very special gift that Muneer is offering you. And I can personally say that you won't regret it.
Oh, thank you so much. As I say again, I'm brown, but if I wasn't so brown, I'd be red right now. I'm blushing. You are amazing, and I'm very happy that you of all the experiences that we've shared together, and the fact that you went through so much, and I mean it's the fact that you went through so much. And for anyone out there that is going through a bunch of things, to be honest with you, it's the stuff that we go through that defines us, that makes us better.
Exactly.
And my bullying, to be honest with you, I look at it today and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because it is allowing me to impact people's lives all over. And you know what, Paula, I think that the tough times that you've been through are what serve you most and allow you to impact people at such another level. And so proud of everything that you're doing. You're
Thank
amazing.
you. But we are
Yeah.
the sum of all our experiences, both high and low, and the adversity that I have had throughout my life, I appreciate all of it because it's made me strong, resilient, passionate, confident. It drives me. That is my drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think I mentioned, so in case anyone wants to get the confidence course, it's muneer.com. That's muneer.com/confident. And if you want the success one, it's /success. So muneer.com
And will that
/confident.
code that you gave work for both courses or just for the confidence?
It works for both courses. Yeah.
Very generous
Exactly.
of you. Very
Yeah.
generous. So it's been an absolute pleasure to meet up with you again and get you on the show.
Pleasure and honor is all mine, always.
Thank you. And I hope that in the future that you will come back again when you've got another course coming out. You always have something special to share with people. And that's why I appreciate you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been a pleasure and honor and so much fun as always, just catching up with you and seeing you and hopefully sharing something that will help impact someone's life on your call. So I look forward to helping people on their journeys, just like our journeys have gone through a lot. So yeah.
So
cool.
it's time to say goodbye from Paula here in Poole in Dorset. And I forgot to mention where you were. So you say goodbye from where you are right now.
So I am in Abu Dhabi in the UAE in the United Arab Emirates. So goodbye from Abu Dhabi and thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for listening and I wish you the greatest of success in all your endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you.